internally framed that as noticing friction.
Oh, friction. Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
it's a good way. Friction or like tension maybe
yeah,
of some sort.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like polar like yeah, it's like the liquid separating or something like that. It's
right,
like
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
that it does feel that way. Interesting. Interesting, I see. Yeah, it's more like it's like there's no right or wrong move in jazz,
right.
but some sounds better, some sound
Yeah.
worse. But still, there is no right way of playing it. That's the whole point. That's why it's an
And
improvisation.
that's a beautiful analogy, because there's this idea in jazz that somebody can bring something to the music that, for it to be congruent in that context, requires some readjustment from another
Yes.
part, and that can happen fluidly, and then it doesn't sound like it was out of place, but only in retrospect. So that is exactly what congruent responsiveness is. If you notice that tension, friction,
Mm,
something that is um, potentially going to pop you into a misalignment, you adjust such that congruence is still there, and then the friction doesn't appear to be friction from the position that you're in. So I'm trying to think
yeah.
of a good experience example of that. Um, okay, so here's something that happened to me recently.
Mm,
Um, I'd been in this conference, like full on, very kind of like finance types, very direct, very like saying exactly like it is. No, don't do that. You do that. You do this. Strong, quite controlling, lots of commands. So it's kind of just picking up this way of being in order to be congruent in that situation. And then I had a meeting and just stepped outside of that context into a completely different context. But I was still carrying that mode a little, so it
mm,
dropped out of just being responsive because circumstances had changed. And I spoke to somebody very sharply. I was like, no, go, leave,
yeah.
like that. And there was a sense of friction. Like in that
Hmm.
moment, it was fleeting, and
Yeah.
but there was a sense of misalignment immediately. It was like
Hmm.
dropping out. So to re I'm not finding the language quite well. It's to realign the possibility of the situation. I
Hmm.
just went to find her and I said, "What was that?"
Yeah.
It's like, that was just so weird. I'm really sorry. I was in the middle of recording this thing, whatever. And we just laughed. And then we got
Hmm.
talking, and immediately that kind of inappropriate, incongruent voice had just
Hmm.
led to something different that was possible and was really just a really nice
Hmm.
resolution. So it's like dropping back in to
Hmm.
not having this friction.
Yeah, a bit like a judo move.
Yeah,
You pick up
exactly.
the energy. You have to pick up the energy of the situation
Exactly
that is
that. Yeah,
already there, and then you have to work with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 And you
Because you
notice
kept
the
on,
energy in your
you
body.
kept on with the energy that you had, which was
Yeah,
quite direct. Because you
yeah,
went and you caught her, and
yeah,
you're
yeah,
like
yeah. Hey,
still,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But you turned it,
Mm,
yeah. You
mm.
kind of repurposed it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
see
the
what you mean.
moment that we started connecting, then your bodily sensation just changes completely.
Uh,
There's the openness is back. The responsiveness is there again.